Okay, let's go over this right now. So as you guys see in a little bit of gameplay, it's pretty cool. So we'll start out with the spirit boons. You go here, obviously, like every druid build has this. You go wariness, and then in the eagle tree you'll go swooping attacks. Yeah, we're bonded with the wolf paths, so we get pack leader. So that's resetting our cooldowns on Poison Creeper, which is pretty sweet. Here on the Snake Path, we do Calm Before the Storm. Lucky hit. Nature magic skills have up to 10% to reduce the cooldown of your ultimate skill by 2 seconds. So we'll be getting our ultimate back to be able to pull people in like crazy. So to start out, I have 1 point into Claw, then you boost it over Enchanted Claw, Wild Claw. The reason I also have Storm Strike, Enchanted Storm Strike, and Fierce Storm Strike is because if you go back here to the character, I am currently using the Great Staff of Crown, which Claw skills are now Storm skills and also cast Storm Strike at a certain percent of the normal damage. Which means while I'm over here tapping away using Claw, Storm Strike is also being activated at the same exact time, which will help me out a lot later on down the road. Then I got 3 points into Primal Instinct. I'm thinking about moving some points around, but 3 points of Primal Instinct seems to work pretty well. Critical each against enemies that are close to me, I automatically have another 6% critical chance, which helped me out a lot. But the main focus of this build is Earth and Bulwark. And then you go into Enchanted Bulwark and Innate Earth and Bulwark. As long as you have 5 out of 5 of this, it goes pretty well. You don't really need new points in this, which is pretty cool. This skill I don't use often. It's mostly for the passive effect I'm using it for. Cyclone Armor with Enhanced Cyclone Armor and Preserving Cyclone Armor. The reason I'm using this is for that passive Powerful Wind Surrounds You, granting 10% non-physical damage reduction. It ends up working out pretty well. And then for the passives in this same tree, we'll see. In the defense skills, I have 1 Ancestral Fortitude and 3 Vigilance. As you can see, increase my non-physical resistance, plus I gain 15% damage reduction for 6 seconds after using a defensive skill. And I'm always using defensive skill. That's practically like the whole build. Then you got Poison Creeper, kind of like an AoE thing, and a little bit of crit. You can constantly have Poison Creeper going, which is pretty sweet, and it seems to be pretty good in the season so far. I scroll down here. I got Hurricane. I'm always constantly activating the Bulwark, the Creeper, and the Hurricane. Like that's my combo, them 3. And then I'm always holding down my claw button so it keeps attacking. But for Hurricane, we go Enhanced Hurricane and the Savage Hurricane, which is pretty sweet. You go down here, we got Crushing Earth, 3 points, Safeguard, 3 points, and Stone Guard, 3 points. These all work with your Bulwark. And then down here, I got 1 for Neurotoxin, 3 for Envenom, and 1 over here for Toxic Claws. Which we're using the claw almost non-stop, so it has that little bit of chance to make people poison, which will be pretty sweet. In Venom, I would like to get a piece that has +3 in here on the amulet, but I haven't gotten lucky to get that. That would give me up to 60%, I believe, bonus critical damage against poison enemies. And Poison Creeper is back here. This Poison Creeper, it is activating poison on everybody when you pull them in close, kind of. And then I don't really need like this whole. I won't get it anyways because you don't really need this. This is a power point you can put anywhere. Then for here, I have 3 out of 3 in Defiance. Nature magic skills deal 12% increased damage to elites. You go up here, you got 1 out of 3 in Natural Disaster. Our Earth and Storm skills basically pretty good. Resonance. Sorry guys, word stutters. You know how it is. Nature magic skills deal 6% increased damage. Triple this bonus if an Earth skill is cast after a Storm skill or a Storm skill is cast. See, my claw counts as both, so every time I pass in my Nature Bulwark, my Bulwark thing that's up here, this Earthen Bulwark, I believe that's constantly being activated because my claw counts it up here. which I'm using Claw due to the staff, counts as Storm and this. So it's basically I'm rotating between the Storm skill and Earth skill constantly. Down here I have 1 in Quick Shift, so that because we're constantly turning into the werewolf. And then 3 over here, upon shapeshifting into a werewolf, I gain damage reduction against elites for 5 seconds, which is pretty sweet. And then we're doing Nature's Fury passive, which is pretty nice. We'll go over gear next quick. So my gear isn't all what I consider the greatest of rolls yet. I'm still slowly working here and there. It'll be eventually better. This is a pretty decent roll. You want to have 9 ranks to claw. The 6 will work. It's not bad. It just won't be as good as when you have it at 9. And it helps your cooldown like reductions go so much faster. Well, basically with this, it's just helping me with how I have everything set up in this tree and stuff. It seems to be getting my stuff back way faster. My boots, so right here, I do like the perk on my boots. While unstoppable, we're almost always unstoppable. So this is practically like always active. I would like a better roll. This is just Codex. I would like that 25 increased movement speed. It'll make it way better. So these aren't bad boots. They have movement speed, they have damage reduction while injured, and spirit cost. I would, like, you guys see how there's the damage injured to the damage injured or whatever? I would prefer to have, well, that's a tough one because see, not the damage while injured, the movement speed for killing an elite. That's what I meant. Because I like the movement speed, I like the damage reduction while injured, and the spirit cost, which is pretty sweet. But for the movement speed for 4 seconds after killing elite, you would preferably have fortified generation bonus or armor while in werewolf. That would make a major difference. These pants are something I consider a godly roll. Even though they are ancestral. Okay, I thought these were not the ancestral. They're a little low on item power, so my stats are bad. I still need to get a better pair of here. But it has close reduction, which are always close. Poison creepers, always constantly poison. Injured reduction, if you go behind that below that 35% health, so much resistance. And then we have total armor on this. See, the total armor, I would prefer it to be well fortified, but for right now it's fine. I consider these a pretty god roll. Armor well fortified. That third stat's yours to choose. As long as you have close, poison, and injured. Injured is the most important there, I believe. These gloves, I consider these really amazing gloves. Our earth skill is the bulwark, and when it blows up, it shoots out, or when we reactivate when it shoots out, and that's how we're doing damage. Decently for, that's why we want the critical strike damage for like earth skills. Then you want the critical strike chance, which is pretty sweet. So that we could constantly be hitting crits. Attack speed makes it so that you can get all your cooldowns down faster. So, how I have lucky hit chance, I would prefer to have critical strike damage, so I am doing a lot more damage in boss fights. I'm still looking for a better pair of gloves. But the perk that's on this one, yes, our skills deal 30 to 40% more critical strike damage. That's a base one. It could get a lot better than that 40% after crowd control, and I think you're crowd controlling a lot. And whenever you activate Poison Creeper, I believe, and then whenever you activate your ultimate, you're pulling them in. Pretty high damage. So for the chest piece, I believe my chest piece is a pretty sweet one. It's ancestral. It got damage protection reduction from poison, which is pretty sweet. It got the close one, and while fortified. See, the one thing is, oh well, I have armor on here too, so I consider this godly. You could switch the armor out for injured if you're having like low health issues. Not, but I haven't had that much issues, so I'm kind of liking. I think this is a perfect roll one. And then for the thing, I have the duration of Earthen Bulwark is increased by 6 seconds. In addition, killing an enemy with an Earth skill replenishes it. Replenishes like a certain percent of your active Bulwark. This is pretty sweet. You can get it going constantly if you're just popping Bulwark after Bulwark. You basically have always, I don't know, like 9 seconds of it, and if you can get your bulwark back by the time either it's up or not, you can be popping out major damage. Now, the aspect on my helmet is pretty good. Basic skills grant reduction. I wish that was higher at 6 seconds, but not really that good at lucky or whatever it is. But this helmet's almost good. I have cooldown reduction that I rolled, basic attack speed, and total armor. I am currently missing barrier generation. If I get barrier generating on this, I will be able to get. That's why I have. You'd be able to get so much more, which would give you so much more damage. Because if you look back onto this one, right here, see, the damage is increased by barrier bonus. The higher our barrier bonus is, which I want to get roughly 60, maybe a little bit more percent, roughly like 50 to 60% is what I want to get. It'll feel so sweet. So I'm currently not even running the maximum potential that I could be with this build either. So you do definitely, when you get the Nature's Key passive, you want it on your necklace no matter what. Because it gives that boost and you can get up to 8 seconds. This is a bad one. Kind of sucks. But try getting one with like 8, with higher when you get it on a decent necklace. It would be pretty sweet. If not, Codex, I believe it's in the Codex, that version would be pretty well. And this isn't too bad. Like a lot of people fluctuate what they say to have on the amulet and stuff. I like the cooldown reduction. I like the damage while fortified. This one is pretty crappy, honestly. So, how I would prefer amulet, it would be ranks of envenom passive. That is the best. If you could get that, it's practically all the way up there. Cooldown reduction is something you want second. And then for your third, you have a choice. I prefer damage reduction while injured, but you could also do while close or while well reformed. Mostly you want envenom ranks and cooldown reduction. Now this ring is one I consider is pretty good. You want this aspect. Casting a storm skill grants your earth skills. Increased critical strike damage for 4 seconds, and casting an earth skill increases your critical strike chance of storm skills up to 4 seconds. Which, that if I could get a better roll on this, I've been having bad luck getting the rolls, it'd be a lot sweeter. But the ring's not bad, because I have the critical chance, I have barrier too. The biggest thing with this is lucky hit chance, that should be vulnerable. If I could get that vulnerable, it'll make a major difference. So you want one that's called basic attack, basic skills increase, well gain 15 to 30% attack speed. It's called rapid aspect. Before I go and show you what I'm doing with my paragons so far. See, my critical damage is pretty low. It's only at 100% and it has base value of 50. So this could be so much improved upon. And then if you go down, which I'm doing decent, 6k health, it could get boosted up a lot more and everything. But right here, these are some stats that matter. Damage while injured, 40%. That's a pretty sweet spot. Maybe get a little bit higher than that. If you go up here, barrier bonus, my barrier bonus is only at 36.5. I want to get this up to, I want to double this. And if I could double this, it'll make it so much better. You'll be tanking and you'll be able to handle pretty hard content pretty easily, I feel like. Okay, so for my first tree right here, this is how I did the first one, went up the left a little bit to grab the health instead of this, because we're mostly worrying about health. We don't need damage as much. We come up a little bit. First glyph I saw was territorial. And it's pretty good. You get damage reduction, damage too close, which helps out a lot, and then damage reduction from against close, which is pretty sweet. The first one I got was heightened malice. I rotated it so that the glyph's over here, but this is where heightened malice is. This is my second page. Go up here. The second glyph I have equipped currently is Fang and Claw. You deal more damage to poison enemies and reduction for poison enemies. I don't currently have this active because I need to have it grow and then it'll be active for that, like while in one of the forms, close enemies take more damage. That would be so sweet. And then the next one I got was okay. Oh yeah, it's Inner Beast. This one we don't really use it for like the um Inner Beast part of it, but what we do is this was my third page by the way. But we use it for many of the other passives like this. I'm going to be slowly creeping up here. This is my goal. I'm gonna go here and then I'm gonna go here. And then I'm gonna get these ones too, just to help with a lot of critical strike damage. The third glyph I have socketed is Protector. We gain basically a lot more to everything in range. And then also you gain 10% damage reduction while you have barrier active. That's going to be sweet because we have a barrier active all the time. And then come back down here to where we went to the right. This is second, third. This is my fourth page. This is all I'm going to do on it. No more extending. I'm trying to figure out which one it is for you guys quick. This is Thunderstruck. I have it rotated so the glyph is right here. So we could get down, we get this. It's not fully activated yet, but it will be sweet. The Hoover's thing, because that will be damage reduction from vulnerable enemies. We're vulnerabling people a lot. But the glyph that I have in here is Shapeshifter. We get damage reduction from vulnerable and well, what it does for like how I have it set up, we gain more percent for all rare nodes in range, which will be pretty sweet. And then also when this extends, it'll be even sweeter. But it also shapeshifting has 20% chance to cause skills damage to critically strike. And we're constantly shapeshifting. And then after the third tree, we go up here to the fourth tree. I haven't fully like decked this up, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to swoop through here. I'm going to get to the glyph spot. I'm going to add in Undaunted, which was this one. We'll increase our damage while fortified. We're always fortified, and we'll get more damage reduction. Be really tanky. That's what I'm hoping for, major tankiness. But what I'll do is I'll kind of straight gun it for this. And then we'll loop around, because I want this node right here. This is the Earth and Devastation board, by the way. I want this one, and then I also want this one down here, which is what I'm thinking. But this one's pretty sweet too. And then for my last page that I'm going to have, I'm going to slowly go over here. It's going to be over here. It's going to be is it this one? Yes, it's this one. And then what I'm going to do for it is rotate it so it's like this. I'm going to slowly go over to here until I can't no more. Go up. Dexterity. Go up a little bit, and then I'm going to go here to the glyph. The glyph that's saying it's socketed up there is going to be this spirit glyph, which I already have it 15, so it's going to be going there. And every 5 dexterity purchased, I can get more critical strike damage. And then if I meet the bonus, I gain critical strikes, increase the damage an enemy takes from you up to 20%, which is going to be pretty sweet. I'm going to be soon trying to create a Tempest Roar build. I forgot about the hearts. Thanks. Sorry, I'm streaming while doing this. It makes it a little bit easier. So the first heart is the Barber heart. You don't need the Barber heart, but it helps to have it. Now, the one you do definitely need to make the difference in this build currently is a devious heart called Inorzactable Force. It basically, as you see, if distance enemies are pulled by ultimate active, that's why I had the lightning ultimate or catalysm active, because it was constantly pulling enemies in, grouping them up, and I do all that damage while they're up close and personal to me. Another one, this one's alright, you don't fully need it, but I believe this is the Revenge Heart. where we take some of the incoming damage is instead suppressed, and when we use a skill, it's amplified by 250% as you see, and explodes, dealing a bunch of damage near enemies. And since we're constantly pulling them in, we're constantly using defense skills, this one's getting procced a lot, and we almost always have that close. Well, right now I have 19.5, but that damage reduction, which is pretty sweet. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoys. If you feel like it, drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. I'm live on Twitch every couple days, usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Random abouts. Sometimes you see us goofing around, sometimes you'll not. And I'm currently also working on a necro, but I'm running in real bad stash issues. Wish I had 4 personal stashes and 4 shared stashes, or even 4 personal and 1 shared. That'd be cool. These are the kinds of uniques I've gotten so far. I haven't really been able to work too much of a good build with any of these other ones. All these are working towards my Tempest Roar currently, which I luckily got at level 75, which I'm slowly working to work towards. I got a few staffs here, but the one I have right now, like this one right here, if you compare them, one of these are upgraded. This is a unique, like this, well, actually, I'll compare this one. Like, as you can see, there are difference in power a little bit, but there's the difference in the ranks, which is the ranks of claws. That's the biggest thing, because this one only had the lower end before I leveled it up, and it was a big issue. But there's quite a few things. I'll be trying to do Tempest Roar. If anybody has any suggestions, drop them down in the comments below. Thank you. Alright.